Since you answered second in the opening statement, you are the first.
The most urgent problem is to reduce property taxes. To achieve this, I will seek to implement a zero-based budgeting to how the county budget is addressed. This approach makes sure that every tax dollar spent of your hard-earned money is wisely spent, allowing the savings to either be returned or utilized for programs such as what would be needed in the career in the American community and elsewhere. Thank you.
A second.
It's more than providing sound bites, which my opponents have been very good at throughout this campaign without any substance as far as where and how they would really reduce taxes. But what I see as the most important is job creation. It's bringing more jobs into our community, which means workforce retraining, infrastructure development, and things of that nature to make sure that we can continue to provide a growing environment for employment within our county. Thank you.
Thank you. I find it interesting that to use the phrase soundbite actually requires you to create sound bites. But I think the most urgent problem that we have facing Bergen County right now is the $930 million that we have in debt. The $930 million equates to about $1,000 for every man, woman, and child in the county. Now, I'm not saying that the projects that this money went to weren't necessary. What I'm saying is we need to figure out a way to bring that number down. The way that I'm proposing is to put a Revenue Responsibility Act together that will put a cap on the county, the amount the county budget can increase by 1%, put a cap on spending across the board, 98%, use that delta to accelerate debt payments. Because I believe if we bring the debt down, we can attract more businesses into the county. Thank you.
Thank you. So anyone that tried to get here tonight and park and drove through traffic tonight coming from home, one of the largest problems we have in Bergen County is traffic. So we definitely have to look at how we can get the Hudson-Bergen light rail extended. What that's going to do is generate the entire line, and that light rail will generate opportunities for small businesses to thrive. And to not only bring people out of Bergen County, but bring people into Bergen County. Between the Hudson-Bergen light rail as well as the 17 bottleneck, where there's a plan that's never been implemented, we need to petition the state of New Jersey to get some funding into Bergen County so that we can solve some of these traffic problems that we have. Thank you.
If you were to speak to residents, and we have when we go door to door, they tell us, how are you going to help us lower our taxes? So it's about taxes. High taxes in Bergen County. People are moving out of Bergen County because they can't pay taxes. Seniors cannot afford to live in their homes that they've lived and raised their children, so they also move. And businesses are leaving Bergen County because they don't have the way to operate and hire more people because of the high property taxes. So it's all about taxes. And our team is ready to look at opportunities, maybe look at Bergen Regional Hospital and see what we do about that. Are we getting the best deal? Do we need to sell it? And do we need to, or keep it? Those are the kind of decisions that we would make as business people. And this thing about it's just sound bites and buzzwords is simply having business sense and accountability and putting the Bergen County residents first.
You have 1 minute.
Thank you. We have a few pressing needs in the county. Obviously, we have taxes, we have transportation, we have the heroin epidemic. So to put one above the other is hard. Obviously, the taxes are an issue in Bergen County, but what we did this year with a bipartisan budget, where every single council member had input on the budget, and we came to a bipartisan conclusion on this year's budget, and we worked together. And if you can't work together in Bergen County, it's not going to get done. That's the most pressing, that's what we need to do. We don't need to be up here fighting and yelling, we need to be finding ways to work together. And obviously the transportation issue, like Freeholder Tonelli mentioned, is very important. We need to, like I said in my opening statement, we need to get people not just in and out of the county, but around the county. So that's a pressing need. There was a press conference today regarding the Bergen-Hudson light rail, which is only in Hudson, and we need to bring it to Bergen. And obviously the heroin epidemic, which affects everybody's lives, and we need to deal with it on a cultural basis, not just on an individual basis. Everyone has to be involved in the process. We need to get everyone together on it. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No doubt, taxes are very, very important. They're right up there. And I have proposals to reduce taxes significantly by selling the hospital. More importantly than taxes right now is the credibility of the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office. Just this week, if you've been reading newspapers, you'll see that John Molinelli, our Bergen County Prosecutor, was removed from office. Now,
This isn't the end of this. There are big issues surrounding us as well. We need to find out who our next prosecutor is going to be. The freeholders should have a say. Now, formally, they don't have a say, but we should have a say in who becomes our next prosecutor. We don't want someone weaponizing that office again or abusing us with tyranny. The other thing you have to worry about, too, is there needs to be an investigation. This cannot pass quietly into the night. If this goes uninvestigated and there are guilty parties, it will do nothing more than encourage people to continue the practice. The Bergen County's prosecutor's office, the credibility must be restored. The people must have confidence in their prosecutor.
So I'm actually in an odd position because my only hire my first year was someone who was Asian American. But more importantly than that, it's involving and engaging the community in all the different boards and panels that we have. You know, the Bergen Community College Board, for example, under the previous administration, had only one member who was a minority, whereas 50% of the student body was minority. And so the first thing that we have done is make sure that we have reinstituted a search for individuals who are wanting to be involved and engaged, and have that as part of our goals. We have actually appointed 2 Korean Americans to the Asian American Advisory Board. The county executive has made a commitment to having outreach specifically to the Korean American community. We've had today, for example, the Economic Development Corporation had a meeting with the Korean Industrial Council to bring more jobs from Korean companies in Korea and bring more importing. There's a lot more that we can be doing, and we'll continue to do so.
Thank you. One of the most important things that we can do to increase diversity in the workforce is for the different nationalities and different people to participate in their government. You have, I saw coming in the 80/80 campaign. I think that's wonderful. That's a great way to start. If you increase your participation in government at the local level, at the county level, whether you're a Democrat or Republican, your community will have your voice heard, and it will be echoed by the amount of participation that you make in this community and in government. The question really comes down to how do you become involved? Have you reached out to your local political leaders of either party? How do you engage the local political leaders? See how you get involved in your local government and then build from there. Thank you.
With the growing population of many different cultures in Bergen County, everyone should have a seat at the table. So I'm 100% in favor of having a more diverse workforce. I'd like to introduce my freeholder aide, Paul Park. So it just shows you how important it is to me to make sure that we have a diverse employment at Bergen County. Is there more we can do? Sure. We need to make sure, like Tracy said, Ms. Zor said, we need to make sure that you're on committees, you're on boards, you're making decisions for everyone in Bergen County. You know better than we do what your culture and what your constituents need. So you should be able to bring that to the table. So that's another thing. But Tracy made a request that the Freeholder Board did, I guess it was 2 years ago, to make sure that all of the boards and positions were posted on our website. It was always top secret. Hand-picked people got put on boards. Now it's open to the public. All you need to do is visit the website. It tells you all of the different boards that there's openings where you have a possibility of joining. Thank you.
The answer to that question is a straightforward yes. This will be a priority of mine. I will accomplish this by continuing my outreach to the Asian American community as I started when I was your freeholder. It continues today and will certainly be accelerated when I'm elected your freeholder again on November 3rd. I will make sure that all job openings are communicated in a way that reaches the widest possible audience. The key is you got to be out there. You can't rely on going to websites and other kinds of things. You have to be out in the community as I have been. Thank you.
Thank you. The one thing I agree with Mr. Mitchell with is yes, obviously. Previously, we had no Asian Americans on the advisory board. When county executive Tedesco took over, we now have 2. And that's just a start. I've had the pleasure of visiting with your communities and getting together with everybody, and this is how we're going to enhance it. We need to hear from you. We need to be engaged with you. Our party, the Democratic Party, is a party of inclusion. Bergen County is one of the most diverse counties in the nation, and we need to reflect our diversity. So yes, thank you.
One of the things that comes to mind when you hear about demographic groups not being represented properly in an employment force would be to enforce quotas. Libertarians are against enforcing quotas in a workplace. We believe in job selection being given out based upon merit only, not based on who you know or based on what your skin color is. Now, it's no secret, Asian Americans are intellectually gifted, and if you go based on merit only, you will see that you probably have a disproportionately number of high jobs in Bergen County. Now, to get there, I'm going to give you the libertarian answer. What we need to do is to take out party politics from this. Remember, Democrats are going to hire Democrats, Republicans will hire Republicans, and it keeps going one up on each other. Libertarians don't have any friends to hire in government. We don't. Libertarians just want to stay in the private sector, so I don't have anybody to give a job to. If that's the case, it'll wind up going to just merit only. Thank you.
Ms. Orr?
I agree 100%, and this is why I feel honored to run for freeholder in Bergen County. I too am from an underrepresented group, Hispanic Latinos in Bergen County. For this reason, I'm most proud that the Republican Party encouraged me to run as their freeholder, but have supported me as a candidate and have shown me that they value what I have to say and what I have to share, and are standing behind me as a freeholder. So day one that I become elected, I will change the diversity on the freeholder board, day one. And I am committed as, I don't know, the mic is not working. I am committed to be an advocate for all communities that are underrepresented, Asian American, Hispanic, and African American. I am committed to that, and my passion and my word goes to them.
Thank you. I find it a huge disappointment that such a large group of people are disenfranchised based on language and culture. I know there are services that are available that can be applied for at the county. I would encourage every organization that would like to participate in those to come on down. If there's a lack of interpretation services that are at the county, I would look to enforce that or to increase that so that you have your say. You can be understood. In Ramsey, I was the liaison to the senior group. There's a unique need from seniors all around about maintaining the level of property taxes that we have. For the senior services, for increasing the lunch program that you guys had required, I would definitely say let's make sure that every cultural group who is applying for food service has food that is catered to their culture. Thank you.
So we've noticed that is an issue, and this year we hired Hai Chow in East Rutherford as the Deputy Director for the East Rutherford Senior Center. And I also believe that we need to have the senior centers are for all of our seniors in Bergen County, regardless of what culture, what language you speak, and we have to make sure that we have services available to make everyone welcome and to make everybody comfortable. The idea of the senior centers is to be able to provide a affordable meal to our seniors, a nourishable meal, so that we know that they're getting the food that they need. And there's a lot of people that count on those services, so we need to be able to provide them to everyone in the proper manner. Thank you.
Thank you. I am very proud of the fact that I was able to attain an essential grant totaling $8,000 for the Korean American Senior Citizens Association in Ridgefield during my term as freeholder. Once I'm elected your freeholder again, I will work with your leaders, such as Mr. Taebok Kang and others, to address the language challenges, cultural barriers, dietary needs, and access to government programs. For me, I have been doing this for years, and I plan on continuing this important work when I'm elected your freeholder on November 3rd. I know I will be successful. You are more than constituents to me. You are like family. Thank you very much.
First and foremost, we need to be providing services for our seniors. Under the previous administration and Republican control, services to senior citizens were cut. we managed to restore those services at the outset, which echoes so much of the importance that we place on senior citizens in our community. Of course, we need to be doing more to be reaching across cultural divides. I know that we do a beautiful job of that in the Palisades Park Center, and we are, as Freeholder Tonelli mentioned, enhancing the services in East Rutherford, but this needs to be a priority of ours through many of our senior centers that are reaching out to the Korean community. We also need to do this in the Housing Authority. I mean, one of the things that I noticed during Hurricane Sandy was that there wasn't someone who could interpret into Korean who was dealing with so many Koreans in Palisade Park. This is one of the other issues that we need to continue to address and bring more people in with with the ability to communicate. But this goes down to the fundamental issue of having more individuals in the community involved with a seat at the table, involved in the process, and engaged in government so we can hear your voices. Thank you.
First off, I'd like to congratulate the members of the Korean American Seniors Association for being able to run a division like that with just private funds. It must give you a lot of pride to be able to work it without having to beg the government for money. Okay, now, what about if we have someone coming up to us with a Turkish-American cuisine or something like that? The answer to this problem isn't to bring more money to this. I agree. It is not right that we take money from your demographic and we give it to another lunch program and don't provide anything in return. The only solution to this is to terminate the lunch program entirely. Your taxes go down, you keep your money, and you spend it the way you want to spend it. You can donate it towards your association, or you can do anything you want to do with it. Thank you.
Ms. Ortiz-Weber?
So we as a county should provide services to all seniors. I work in a Japanese company, and I know that Asians, especially elders, are respected and honored. And so we should do the same thing in Bergen County. We should honor our elders and our seniors and do everything we can to make them happy and comfortable and make them stay in Bergen County and enjoy the rest of their lives here. What I would commit to as a freeholder is, it's as easy as saying, what do you want on the menu? Why don't we have the discussion, and why don't we have the leaders that are selecting the menu just give a random menu so that everyone enjoys their meals and enjoys being at the senior center. It's as simple as asking the seniors, what do you want while you're here? Thank you.
Well, I usually don't like to respond to comments that are made here by other candidates, but I will never cut a senior program or a senior lunch program, ever, okay? I feel that all that does is put an unburdened tax on the seniors, and that's not what we're going to do. As far as enhancing the lunch program, I absolutely believe that. Like I stated before, we're the most diverse county, one of the most diverse counties in the nation, and we should reflect that. And I think that what we have done by making Sonny Kim and Kenny Chang on the Asian American Advisory Board, we've showed that we are willing to listen. Our ballots are now printed in Korean. That's what we did. We're going to continue to do it, and we're going to continue to get you the services you need. It may not get as quick as you want it, but we are going to do it, and we will do the best we can to help our seniors in every community. Thank you.